morning, everybody. Welcome back. My name is Sandra. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am going to be preparing my bullet journal setup for the month of March, and I haven't done this in a really, really long time. The last time I set up, I did it not on camera. But this bullet journal is basically my health, everything health. It's going to be self-care, mental health, physical health, everything like that. So I do a lot of tracking. I am going to be using this biohacking tracker from Jane's Agenda. I printed this out, purchased the PDF printable version, and I paste this into my bullet journal. But I am going to do something special for March because March is my favorite month, especially this year. Just March is a special month. It's got my birthday weekend falls in the Easter this time, so it's like my birthday is the 30th of March, which is my lucky day, and there's the time change, which is, we lose an hour of sleep, yes, but it's nice because it means spring is on its way. Spring is this month, and overall, March is just an amazing month for me. So I want to make it special, and I want to do a whole bunch of self-care things as well. But I'm just going to go ahead and do a voiceover for the remainder of the video because it's going to be super long. So please enjoy. Thank you again so much for joining me, and we'll talk to you at the end. All right, guys, so we're going to get started. The first step I do is I cut my watercolor paper in half. Now, in retrospect, I probably would have kept it all one piece before doing the painting and then wait for the paint to dry and then cut it afterward, but I did not do that. I'm taking my Derwent paint pencils, so they are a watercolor pencil, and I am literally coloring a rainbow onto the page. And yeah, you can see why I should have kept the paper together. But these pencils are amazing. So if you don't have a lot of time to spend in watercolor, mixing colors, you can do it with pencil. And you don't have to do it the way I'm doing it either. You can take a wet brush and you can dab it onto the tip of the pencil and lay down the color that way. And it gives it even more of a watercolor appearance. And I was just in a super rush. I literally did this in 5 minutes. And I think it turned out not bad for doing it in 5 minutes. So I'm taking the black and I am making clouds behind the rainbow. So the whole point of this is that there's still a rainbow, or there's always a rainbow after it rains or something like that. I wrote a quote on the right-hand page. So I'm drawing some raindrops here with the blue in the package, and it looks really, really cool once I attack it with my watercolor pen here. So this is a fairly cheap watercolor pen that I got from Amazon. Again, I will link all the products down below so you guys can go ahead and check those out. I will link them. But yeah, this is a super quick and easy way to get into watercolor if you want to try it, and it's relatively inexpensive. I think the most expensive part might be the paper, or it might be the Derwent pencils, and I'm pretty sure you can find cheaper brands. You don't have to get Derwent. They are an English brand. And then here, because you're not like waiting for the paint to dry, and again, it depends how much water you lay down too, you can really mix a lot here. I didn't use that much water, so I didn't have like a really good mix, but then again, it's a rainbow and I wanted the colors to kind of stand out. So you can see how, oh, and I mixed the green in with the blue there, but the blue was very, very vibrant, so it was okay. But yeah, I just continue layering out a little bit of water, and this pen was a little hard because I had to squish the barrel of it in order to get any ink out, and that's how they are, like that's kind of the point. But this one was really difficult to work with. So there I've got the last color on the rainbow, and then I go in with the clouds. So it looks like I must have had some of the paint left on there, but I go in and add a little bit of blue after the fact just to make it a little bit more cloud-like and less, like it kind of looks like an angry cloud right now, but I make it a little bit happier when I go in and add some blue here. All right, so then the next thing is the quote. So I'm using my Sakura, my Sakura Micron. This is the 05. It's a 0.45 millimeter, so it does show up well. And I wouldn't recommend using brush pens on this watercolor paper. These fine liners are okay because, I mean, they dry out pretty quickly. Like honestly, they don't last that long for me. But I'm drawing my quote here, and I think it looks so like Carlton cards. And then just for the extra added touch, I decided to round the corners of my watercolor painting. And then I'm going to tape it into my notebook with Scotch double-sided tape. I did choose this over the Tombow glue adhesive just because it seemed to be a little bit sturdier. I feel like it sticks really, really well. And Tombow, like the glue tape adhesive, would probably do the same thing. I do actually use it to glue in another page on the next spread, but I don't know. I just wanted I wanted to use the tape for this part here. So I'm adding both sides into my notebook, and I try to line it up, but I did notice that the picture on the right was a little bit lower than the one on the left, but you know what, that's okay. Perfection isn't everything. Okay, so this next spread, I am doing my habit tracker. So for a while, I did kind of run into the issue of, okay, how do I separate this? Do I want my habit tracker in my planner? Do I want it in my health notebook? And it actually ended up making it into health because I just thought, you know what? It trackers together. I'm tracking all sorts of health stuff, so why not just put it in the same notebook? So that's what I did. So I'm tracking a variety of things here. Some of them are work, some of them are health. I do have a lot of my health stuff like medications, water intake on the next page when I add my Jane's Agenda biohacking tracker. But this one, you know, it's journaling, reading, doing personal development, spiritual work, anything like that. So I do feel like all of those things relate to mental health and emotional health. So I still keep that in here. And I had hole punched these sheets prior to changing my system. So that's why you'll see hole punches in them. And I just cut it up to fit in, and then I'm taping it, or sorry, not taping, gluing this time with my Tombow glue adhesive. And I do really like that product. It's like something that I've carried on ever since I first started bullet journaling, for probably about 5 or 6 years ago now. So then I decided to draw a calendar. So technically, when I was bullet journaling previously, I would always add my calendar right after my title page. And looking back again, I probably would have done that. I would have drawn the calendar right after. But this calendar isn't like, you know, my business or my home life calendar. It's just self-care. It's basically focusing on everything that I could do for myself, but actually scheduling it in. I think that's my biggest problem. And self-care is one of my goals for this year. So focusing more on self-care and being more aware and like actually thinking about it and scheduling it in. And like I said before, or maybe it was after at the end of this video, if it doesn't get written down in my planner, it doesn't happen. And so I'm like, okay, if I write it in here and I write it in my planner, these things are going to happen. They have to happen because it's that important to me. It's one of my goals, right? So I really want to focus on that. And especially for March. March is, I feel like it's my month. I know it's everybody's month, but I feel like my birthday falls in this month, and just spring is my time. I shine in spring. I just love it. And I feel like March is going to be a good month. And so I decorated it with this light teal color just because, I don't know, I feel like it's a spring color. It's almost kind of reminds me of St. Patty's Day a little bit. And I did use my Tombow Food no Suke, the black color, just to give the calendar a little bit of a drop shadow, just for some visual interest. And then I'm writing in the days, and I did start with a Monday start date instead of Sunday. Moving on to the next spread, this one is going to be all of my self-care ideas. And I thought it would be nice to have like a brainstorming session spot just to write down everything that I could think of. And if some of those things don't come to fruition, that's okay, but it's a good reference, right, to continue coming back to. I don't have to focus on this just for the month of March. It can be any day. Okay, so this page was my lettering, and then this one is my doodle a day. So still lettering and like drawing something every day is very important to me. I find that the only way I can bring my creativity into my life is through bullet journaling, so I purposely put those spreads in there. And then I did skip the next page. It's got personal information, so I chose to write that in later. The next one is my weight tracker. So here I add the dates down at the bottom, and then I go back and I fill in the weight on the left-hand side at a later point in time. All right, guys, so that is it for this video. So I just wanted to do a quick walkthrough of what I've done here. And I really felt like doing watercolor, and it was kind of a messy watercolor. It wasn't like, it didn't take me hours. It literally maybe took me like 5 minutes to do this. And the easiest way is if you get a watercolor pen from Amazon, they're super cheap, super affordable. And then if you use watercolor pencils, I'm using the Derwent pencils. I think my mom got these for me for a Christmas or birthday a long time ago, but I'll see if I can link them from Amazon. And they're just super convenient, and especially I think you can get lots of colors. I just have a smaller pack, but you can also use watercolor paints. I've got these cheap ones from Amazon as well, and you can find them anywhere. It's yeah, I'll link a good set down below, but I used watercolor paper, and it was one sheet, and I just cut it in half. And now thinking about it, this is what other people do, is I would have left it one sheet and then I would have like done my watercolor and then cut it after it's dried. This still worked out for me, but just, just so you are aware that that's probably way easier. So then I used my double-sided tape. I'll link all of these supplies from Amazon just so you can have access to them. I used double-sided tape for this instead of my Tombow glue adhesive because the double-sided tape is really, really strong. So then next I have my March habit tracker. There's one thing that I didn't really want to share, so I left it out, but I'll add it later. And then all I do is I use my Z Clean Color dot single markers, and then I dot off each day whether I've done that habit. And to make it easier for myself, I did put the day as well instead of just like the number. And then I have this March or biohacking tracker. So these can be purchased from Jane's Agenda. Remember, I am an affiliate. So if you use my link, I do have a code too. It's just Sandra Doll, all like lowercase, I believe, or maybe capital. I don't know. But if you use that, you do get a discount. And this was a PDF, like printable version. So I just printed it once I downloaded it, and then I have it forever now, which is amazing. And like how you use it is you fill it out per day, and then you can draw a line graph. So like what your sleep looks like or what your quality of sleep looks like, etc. Okay, so I don't track food because I track food in a different area of this bullet journal. I cross that out and I put pain level. So I have a variety of different things where I get pain from. And so I just track, I don't track what type of pain it is. I do have a journal. I do make notes in here. Like if there's a specific day that something happened, I'll make a note about it. So this would be like for journaling for any specific thing. Like if I have my stomach issue comes back, or, if I hurt myself, it would go in here. I cross out vitamins because I take vitamins one time a day. Inhaler, because I take my inhaler AM. The next is water. So I put water here, and then I put whether I take 3, 2, or 1 bottle. Meds, I do AM and PM, and for vitamin at the bottom because I only, like I said, I take it once a day. And that's how I change mine to work for me. And I like those blank spots at the bottom. It makes a lot of sense. Okay, and then I've got my March, I called it self-care March calendar. So, and then I've got health goals here. And this is going to be for anything. And like, yes, ideally I would include this in my planner, but this is going to be a specific tracker for my mental and emotional and everything health. So whether I have journaled, that's why it's in my habits in here. Like especially all of these things here, I'll show you. I've got human design, transformation, a tarot for transformation, alchemy, spiritual work, shadow work, Hobonichi, personal development, journal, biz journal, power sheet, scheduled reading, self-care. So self-care would be like a self-care task, like going to get my hair done or my nails done or having a bubble bath, having a nice night of relaxing reading, something like that. I could check it off. But these other things are also a form of self-care, and I do have to schedule them in. So if I've decided that I'm like, okay, I look at my planner and I'm like, okay, these days seem to be really like quiet, easy days. Like for example, this week, I'm filming this on the 26th of February. This week is super busy for me because I'll be having my planner setups pretty much like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So it's gonna be super busy. But maybe next week, maybe I can go get my nails done if I wanted to get them done for a little bit. Or maybe I need to have a bath, or maybe I need to spend the day shaving. I don't know, but I consider that all self-care because I've got the kids and I've got a busy work life and I get up at 5 and I've always like I'm here by myself. My husband is currently working out of town. So I really have to schedule my stuff in. And I've been noticing that if I don't write it in my planner, it usually doesn't happen. So I've been scheduling stuff like that on days when I know I'm not as busy. Like Mondays are usually pretty good days to do work. Or not to do work, to do self-care things, like maybe catch up on my personal development or have a nice bubble bath with wine or something. So I'm going to put my health goals here, and I'm going to schedule in specific things. Like, maybe on the weekend, I'm going to take 2 hours in the evening to read, and that's all I'm doing. So that's what I'm going to use this for. And it'll also be for doctor's appointments or if I've booked x-rays or something. And of course, any information that goes on here that's an appointment related event will go also in my planner so I don't forget. Okay, then I've got my self-care idea page. So I'm going to write down like things like getting my nails done, getting a facial. Maybe I've been wanting to get eyelash extensions for a super long time just to try it. I know it doesn't last forever, and I told myself I never would because like mascara is probably way cheaper, but I'm interested in seeing how it looks, right? So I wouldn't mind checking that out. March lettering ideas. So I'm going to just do some lettering. I'm not going to do like a lettering for every day, but I'll just do some different lettering things, and that also helps me feel good. So if I do one a day, that kind of like focuses me a little bit, and also gives me inspiration. Same here. This is doodle a day. I haven't picked anything specific. I might, there's lots of like websites you can go take a look and they'll have like a doodle a day challenge. Just find something like that and then draw that picture or whatever that object is and do one every day. So this is going to be information. I haven't written it out yet, but it's information that I don't want to share. So I haven't touched that page yet. This is going to be my March weight tracker. So I've put the days down here and then I put the weight along the side. And I'm not like super obsessive about it, but I do like to track how my weight fluctuates when I'm like on my cycle and stuff. And it's actually kind of cool how it all correlates. But that is it for this March setup. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I haven't done a bullet journal setup in a long time, and I kind of like it. It was kind of good. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you are new, please subscribe. Even if you're not new and you haven't subscribed yet, please do so because I would love to grow this channel and continue growing. And if you want to see more, click on the bell button so you'll be notified every time I upload. And I will see you guys very soon. Bye.